The movie takes place in ancient Rome, where we see an architect named Lucius. Lucius is struggling with money and new inventions. He is told that his innovations are old-fashioned and are usually rejected by the clients. One day Lucius's friend brings him to a bathhouse that is filled with half-naked people. Lucius stays away from the crowd and is sitting in the bath separately from everyone. To relax his mind, Lucius goes underwater when all of a sudden he notices a tiny whirlpool that is forming deep in the tub. He goes to check out what is happening deep down there but is pulled by a strong force. He tries to escape from there but ends up in a tunnel-like place from where he manages to get to the surface. When he reaches the surface, he is shocked because he had not woken up in the Roman bathhouse but had woken up in a modern Japanese bathhouse. To his surprise, he had somehow traveled to modern-day Japan. The bathhouse is filled with old men who are surprised to see him naked. Lucius starts to explore the place and finds that it is modern and advanced. The men are Mongolian and he thinks that the men are from a fat-faced tribe. He notices new things such as water taps, baskets, and massagers and is embarrassed that he was not able to think of these inventions. The scene then cuts to Lucius going into the female bathroom, naked by accident, where he is knocked out by a frightened old lady who threw something at him. In the meantime, we are introduced to Mommy, who is a manga artist. Mommy starts to draw Lucius' portrait, which gives her an idea of a new character. Later, Lucius goes unconscious for the second time when he is given flavored milk by an old man who is very sweet and cold. When Lucius wakes up, he is back in the bathhouse of ancient Rome. People there told him that he drowned in the water and was taken out by them after a few minutes. Lucius thinks he had a dream but finds the bottle of milk beside him, which makes him sure it wasn't a dream. 2 months later, Lucius uses the ideas he had seen in modern-day Japanese bathhouses to renovate their own bathhouse with the permission of the owner. He is appreciated for his creativity by the locals and earns a high amount of money. He uses sweet milk, baskets, and massage booths in the renovation. Then, as he procrastinates on how to build a bathhouse at home, he is again pulled into modern-day Japan. He lands in a bathtub this time and meets an old man who tells him to wash his back. While washing his back, Lucius sees different utensils that are used to bathe. He finds out about the shower head and the shower hat. Coincidentally, Mommy the artist is the owner of the house Lucius is in. As she sees him, she rushes to find her art pad, but Lucius has gone back to Rome by now. After returning to Rome, Lucius builds a bathtub and earns a lot of money. We are introduced to his wife, who is now getting really good meals because of Lucius's money. She tells Lucius that he has no time for her nowadays, and that she wants to have a baby. They get into a heated debate and she curses him and goes away. On another day, Lucius is approached by a messenger of a cruel man who is rumored to have killed his cabinet members who had opposed him. The man's name is Hadrianus. Emperor Hadrianus called Lucius and started to tell him that he had a great love for art. He tells him that he is amazed by the work he has done in the public bathhouse and wants a personal bathtub, unlike anyone has ever seen before. Lucius agrees to his terms and conditions and starts thinking about how to make one for him. All of a sudden, he falls into a ditch and vanishes. The scene then cuts to modern-day Japan, where we see Mommy working tirelessly for a bathroom supply store because her art is not going well. While working, she forgets that she had left water in one of the bathtubs, and suddenly Lucius appears in one of the bathtubs. Lucius gets time to talk to Mommy while the manager of the shop goes to the owner to complain about the ongoing situation. Lucius gives Mommy a coin to show him around the place. Upon his tour of the place, he notices printed toilet papers, urinals, and bidets. The thing that mesmerizes him the most was bidets, because when he sits on one he thinks he is in heaven. He returns to Rome and uses the ideas he had seen in modern-day Japan to make the emperor's bathtub. He makes a tub with bubbles made by the emperor's servants who blow in a pipe. He makes a toilet that has continual water flow to clean the behind and puts in candles and an aquarium. The emperor, upon seeing this, is fascinated and gives Lucius a necklace that had human genitals and dog legs. Lucius happily returns to his wife to show what the emperor had given him, but finds her cheating on him with his best friend. On the other hand, in the future, Mommy is no longer doing her job as she was kicked out from there. She goes to her old hometown and starts reading about ancient Roman history and tries to find the coin's origin that Lucius gave her. She is doing all of this to learn about Lucius. In Rome, Lucius was really upset because his wife had cheated and later ran away with his best friend. One day, the emperor loses his beloved son and thinks a crocodile is his reincarnation. He calls Lucius and tells him to build a place for the crocodile so it can survive and also meet its needs. Lucius knows he can be declared a national criminal in any way if the crocodile dies because everyone will start to criticize him for his death. Later, Lucius goes to the emperor's bathtub to ensure the water flow is okay but is pulled into modern-day Japan again. Lucius lands inside a crocodile cage and to his surprise, Mommy is also there with her date whom she doesn't like much. Upon seeing Lucius, she takes him out of the crocodile's cage and gives him a tour of the sanctuary, forgetting about her date. After visiting the crocodile sanctuary, Lucius learns a lot about the crocodile's habitat and how to properly feed them. Mommy takes Lucius to play archery to confirm her suspicion about him being an ancient Roman man. Later, he goes to a hot spring to relax but is pulled back to Rome. After several months, Lucius completes the emperor's request and is now being treated like the emperor's family. One day, the emperor gets to know that his troops have been attacked by the rebels. The rebels want to take away the throne from him. The battle goes on for more than a year while the emperor ages and is ready for someone else to take his place. The emperor wanted Sianius as his successor for the throne. He wants Lucius to help Sianius build a new bathhouse to gain the support of the people. Later, Lucius goes to Sianius and tells him that he won't work for him. He did not want to work for him because Sianius was arrogant and proud and also knew if he became the emperor the empire would fall. Sianius reminds Lucius that not agreeing to the terms and conditions of the emperor is punishable by death, but Lucius stands firm on his stance. Lucius then goes to another fellow architect to convince him to take Sianius's project. The architect is furious at him and starts to rebel against him because for many years he had been broken because of him. The man throws Lucius into a well and after Lucius gains consciousness he is surrounded by flat-faced people. The tribe people bring him to a hot spring because he is injured and tell him that the spring will heal him quickly. Lucius' throat feels burnt after the people gave him fermented alcohol. After bathing in the spring he meets Mommy again who has learned Latin to communicate with him. She asks Lucius his name but he is drunk and falls on top of her. Both of them drown in the lake and wake up in Rome. Mommy becomes aware after coming to Rome that Lucius is about to be executed due to his refusal to the emperor. Lucius thinks that he should leave home to save his life, but Mommy tries to convince him that he should take the project and save his life. Back in Japan, the tribe men are looking for Mommy in the pool but all of a sudden they notice a whirlpool, and they too are brought back to Rome. Lucius finds a similar hot spring like Japan on his way to another city and thinks that the spring could be used to heal the injured soldiers of the emperor. Lucius immediately rushes back to Mommy to tell her about his idea. Mommy agrees and later Lucius goes to the emperor to share his idea with him. He also lets the emperor know that Antonius, who is also another heir to the throne, instructed him to make the spring. Lucius, Mommy, and the tribe men start to build houses around the spring after being granted permission from the emperor. The houses become a resting point for the soldiers, where they can recover. The tribe people use their knowledge of modern medicine to heal the wounds of the soldiers, more quickly than usual. After several months, the soldiers have recovered completely and they win the battle against the rebels. The people celebrate their victory by dancing and drinking. On the other hand, Lucius and Mommy sit alone and talk. Both Lucius and Mommy have developed feelings for each other. All of a sudden the tribe people start to disappear. Lucius tells Mommy that there are various ways that she can get back to Rome while she is in the process of vanishing too. The scene then cuts to the emperor where he is seen making Antonius his advisor. Lucius is also awarded for his courage shown in the war. In modern-day Japan, Mommy has started a new life and is doing her current job well. She is walking down the city when all of a sudden Lucius emerges out of the pond. The movie comes to an end when they have reunited again.